Dissociative identity disorder is also known as multiple personality disorder. Dissociative identity disorder is a mental disorder when a person has two or more personalities. It doesn't require lab testing and it is treatable by a medical professional. Dissociative identity disorder affects 1% of the population and is considered to be quite rare as it may be more common than previously thought. This higher estimated prevalence may be due to the millions of now reported incidences of child abuse. Dissociation is more common among those who have suffered childhood trauma and in psychiatric patients than in the general population. DID is caused by trauma which occurs at less than 9 years of age. The average number of alternate persons with DID is between 8 and 13. But there have been cases reported of more than 100 personalities within one individual. DID was seen in 17.2% of the large inpatient group seeking treatment for substance abuse. DID can be diagnosed as long as there are two distinct alters on display. People have been known to develop 100 different alters, and 10 is the average number of personalities that someone with DID will have. DID can develop as a side effect of another mental illness such as PTSD, and the dissociation of psychological processes changes a way a person experiences life, like amnesia, identity confusion and identity alteration. DID is treated by psychotherapy and involves helping people improve their relationship with others. In 1791, the first case of DID was reported and studied. This case involved a 20-year-old woman who had two different personalities. The first personality involved a German woman. The second personality involved a French woman. She spoke perfect French and behaved like an aristocrat. The French woman was aware of the German woman and the German woman was not aware of the French woman. After this woman was studied and more light was shed on DID, more cases arose and were studied. Hey Psych Tubers, welcome back to the Max Mental Health channel. In this video I am gonna be talking about the facts about dissociative identity disorder. 1. It can make someone feel like they are living in a dream. In the case of DID, someone may feel like they are living in a dream-like state or feel like life is mechanical. As a side effect of medication, mild sensations of this disorder are sometimes felt by normal individuals under severe stress. DID may last for a few moments or stretch out for many years depending on a person's treatment. 2. It is not as rare as we think. DID is not as uncommon as many people believe. Most of us have only seen DID in movies and also believe that it is uncommon and will never meet anyone with it. Research shows that 2% of the population in the US alone suffer from DID. 3. It can last a lifetime if left untreated. DID stems from childhood trauma, which means psychotherapy and family therapy is highly suggested. People should realize that these dissociative disorders arise due to anxiety that floods us. Research shows that there is no medication that is specifically for the treatment of DID. But some people may be prescribed medication to help deal with mood disorders such as anxiety and depression. Finding ways to effectively manage stressful situations can be super helpful. 4. It is not always extreme. When a person switches from one personality to another, that is when he has DID. That person is sometimes confused, forgetful or anxious. Also, when a person takes on a different personality, only little things usually change, such as the person's voice or the way he is sitting. As portrayed on television in movies, the people in these stories have many personalities which are very different from one another. But in real life, that is not always the case, as it is portrayed by the media as being extreme. 5. It is not as uncommon as you think. While DID is a rare disorder than any other mental health disorders like anxiety and depression, it's not as uncommon as many people tend to think. Experts agree that about 2% of the population meet the criteria, though others argue on the prevalence of the criteria. It is also important to remove any stigma attached to mental health disorders so that those dealing with the condition seek the help they need, although you can see DID portrayed in a certain way. 6. It's a coping mechanism. Patients with DID have dealt with violent and traumatizing experiences in the past. When a moment triggers a traumatic memory, these patients might cope by acting differently because these moments are too stressful to remember. These patients tap into their dissociations to escape. These traumatizing experiences can include witnessing someone's death or experiencing physical abuse. 7. Every identity has its own story. A person may experience one or more identities, especially in the case of DID. These identities can take control at any given time, and with the presence of amnesia, the person may not be able to recall what happened during this time. Although it's not obvious, each identity may be with its own name, gender, voice, history and other characteristics. 8. Memory lapses are common. A number of DID patients are most likely to suffer from loss of memory. This may lead to loss in both their professional and personal relationships. A lot of times they may even fail to remember key pieces of personal information. They might forget everyday events like work-related issues but recall something scary. Sometimes they may even forget the key pieces of their personal information. 9. Connection with schizophrenia. Schizophrenia and DID have a lot of similarities, but both are seriously misunderstood for a long time. There are similarities and differences between these two disorders. The similarity is that both conditions involve depression, anxiety, and confusing thoughts. While the difference is that DID does not involve hallucinations and schizophrenia does not involve alternate personalities. Be sure to watch out for my next video about what is schizophrenia. Please like, subscribe and hit that notification bell to be the first to know in case I upload. Thank you.